Okay, I wanted to talk about my biggest leak, which happened today, which is tilt calling. And what I mean by that is you have a hand that you start out, and I'm not talking about just running bad, but you have a hand where you start out and you flop top set, and you're like, yeah, and then you're just counting the money in your head, and you get all excited, and then it runs out something, a runner four to a straight or something, and you've already put in most of your money, and there's 250 in there, and there's only 100 to call, and the guy goes all in on you, who is not a big bluffer, just a typical 1-2 reg. It's a fold. It's a fold. But in the moment, you're so excited about, hey, I got this hand. I'm winning it. That when you get to the river and you're just like, all of a sudden not winning it, the all the excitement you're going through, and then fuck. You just say, fuck it. You know what? I call, whatever, And he shows you the straight, which you knew he had. So that's the biggest leak I think people have. Biggest leak of mine. And I got knocked out of the main event 1 year doing that. I knew I was way ahead, and I was way ahead. And then he jammed on the turn, and I knew I was good. I had like king queen on a king 7 deuce board or something. And then I waited because it was a real dry board, and he didn't bet, and the turn was an ace. And then I checked or bet, I don't remember the action exactly, and he jammed. And of course, he's got me beat now. He's got the ace. He got lucky. I was good on the flop because he checked back the flop. And but it's like you're so excited about, hey, I'm winning and I'm moving on big in the main event, and then all of a sudden now, oh fuck, you gotta take a deep breath, sit down, take a deep breath, go through the action. Wait, don't just snap call the river. I do that. That's my biggest leak. I snap call the river and I get shown what I already knew, which is I was beat. I sat down today and I had one of the very first hands. I sat down and I like almost doubled up the first hand. So I was sitting good and everything was good. And then I have pocket sixes, and the flop comes king 9-6. And I bet to build the pot up a little bit. It was a limp pot. And probably should have raised, but I was in early position, so in early position, sometimes I won't raise pocket pairs, especially if I know the world's calling. Now what? I got to flop a set. And you don't flop a set enough to, make it worth that, really, out of position. So, but anyway, I flopped a set, and I bet, and got a couple callers, and the pot's building up. Turn was a 9, and went wonderful. I hope someone's got a 9, right? I got a full house. So I bet, and then one guy calls, and then the river comes to 10, and he didn't have that much more. And I put him in, obviously. I think that's the right call. If he's calling with trip 9s, he's calling with a king. He's definitely calling with worse. And he calls, and he shows over 9-10 off. So he actually hits his trips, and then he got lucky. He run a runner to boat. And then right there, I lost over half my stack. And then that starts getting me on tilt a little bit. He run a runner me. And then right after that, there's a guy that limped in early position. And there was multiple limp pot. I limped on with ace-3 on the button. Offsuit, that's a hand that you don't play. You either raise or you fold. It was just silly and stupid. Sometimes I limp because I know everyone's limping with garbage, and why not? I'm on the button. I got an ace, but it's not good poker. You typically raise. Don't be limping. I know, Dan. Don't be doing this. Sometimes you get to limping because the world limps, and then, but basically what had happened is, I made that one problem compounded into another, and flop comes ace high with 3 clubs. Gets checked to me. I bet. Figure I got the best hand. Get 2 callers. Turn is an offsuit brick. Check. And I figured, well, the guy's chasing a club probably. So I bet. And he calls. And then the river was trip aces. And then the guy looks at me and he shoves all in. And I got trip aces here. But it should be obvious to me. And it wasn't that much more. It was only like a quarter of the pot to call for the rest of my chips. But I should know that he either got a boat, or you would think if he had like a set on the flop that he would, have bet himself on the flop or raise the flop, because there's nothing to be scared of. You want to charge clubs with multiple people in there, but for some reason he just check called the whole way, and he had flopped a set of queens. He limped queens, flopped a set of queens, and he check called the whole way. But bottom line is, on the river when he shoves, even if he doesn't have a boat, check call bet is obviously at least a flop flush, and he could easily have a flop flush. I didn't think he had queens full, but I thought, well, he's got a flop flush. you're not good. Save the little bit of money. Save it. Don't. There's no sense calling because obviously I'm beat. He's like slow playing a flush. He's slow playing something, and but I didn't have that much more. Most of my money was all in there. I have trip aces. Fuck it, throw it in. Again, fuck it, throw it in. If I had sat down and taken a deep breath, gone back through the action, thought about the player, I should be able to save that little bit of money on the river. That was a horrible call by me again. So just the whole tilt factor, that's a big leak of mine. And for you guys out there, think about that before you call on the river or do anything on the river. If things had went from wonderful to fuck, you got to take a deep breath and think about the action and realize, hey, is he really bluffing here? And make a laydown. Don't make a tilt call. Just make the right play. Easier said than done. It's a big freaking problem of mine that I have to work on. I'm going to have to work on really taking a deep breath and thinking about the river versus making the tilt call. So hopefully this video is helpful to you, and we'll see y'all in the next one.